XRP has made history. Big purchasers are preparing to purchase. Stephen McClure, CEO of the Canary Capitals, gave us this fantastic new interview. We also offer a wealth of additional XRP news and information. How many ETFs are available at the moment? How does that work? G Treasury has some fresh information to provide. You must see this Tangelo and G Treasury thing. A lot of things are happening. Come on. Let's imagine that your XRP launch was dependent on the volume of trades on the first day, the largest ETF and ETP launch of the year in the United States. That is an absolutely absurd fact. For this reason, on the first day, I will use a round figure of $60 million for the daily dollar amount. Two things are connected to this. You started by selling a product that consumers desired. Second, it was needed and desired by the market. Therefore, those types of liquidity aspects are excellent. The cryptocurrency industry ought to take pride in it. The ETF sector should be proud of it. It should make the markets happy. I appreciate all of your hard work. That is a remarkable accomplishment. Yes, many thanks for that. Please thank my crew as well. It may surprise you to learn that we have wonderful pals. For us, Cass and Q. make excellent attorneys. However, we also have a terrific team, and several of us have been working together for a long time. The team is crucial, so pay attention. It appears that the individuals at Canary Capital are skilled in their field. The fact that they were able to launch their products first greatly benefited them. That you nearly made $60 million in sales on the first day is just incredible. XRP became the best in 2025 by outperforming $900 other products. This is owing to the work of the team at Canary Capital. Many of us say, team, everything is fine. All right, rewatch this XRP video. I've previously seen video of this man. Many individuals discuss how Bank of America is. The new 35-second video is connected to Ripple XRP. Come on, many people are already investing in the stock market, but digital and tangible assets offer some of the best opportunities. In other words, crypto leverage has been fully wiped out during the last few months. Leverage is actually at an all-time low right now, and once it does, it creates the conditions for a significant increase. Nevertheless, I believe that a significant surge in cryptocurrency is imminent before the year ends. I'm examining Ripple, Ethereum, and Bitcoin. These are the plays that develop stuff in this area. Things could gather up momentum very rapidly. All right. I appreciate you sharing. Wall Street is moving in, as Paul Barron put it. He was discussing this new development at the XRP community's Bitwise milestone day. I was left wondering where it disappeared to. Keeps running away from me. This morning, the Bitwise XRP ETF is available for purchase and sale on the New York Stock Exchange. Since the beginning of today, investors may now more easily gain spot exposure to XRP, the cryptocurrency that aims to alter the $250 trillion worldwide industry for payments. It also discusses why it will still be relevant in 13 years. The XRP Army, a group of fervent supporters, of course. That's fantastic. All right, the market capitalization and a few other items come next. A lot of news is out there. All of this is significant because these companies are selling XRP, as you can see. It appears before more purchasers. Correct? We need this. We require an additional $5 million. We need 1 million more people to buy XRP because I suppose everyone does, right? Although many customers are satisfied with their bags and have stopped, there are still certain locations we would like to include. You need the new market because of this. What you need is that new supply crunch. But we are starting to get it. All right? According to Chad Steingraber, the Bitwise equivalent of today's 14 is 8.8 million, Canary 5.7 million overall volume. 6 million thus far. People obviously want to know why the pricing is less than $2. A significant portion of this XRP was purchased using over-the-counter OTC cards and dark pools. When those are finished, ladies and gentlemen, it will be time for the global Coinbases and stands. After we deplete that specific quantity, where will you obtain XRP? Indeed, Ripple. Ripple is powerful at the moment, isn't it? They have the freedom to decide whether or not to sell this XRP. Hey, we're going to ask for a higher premium. They may even remark, for this XRP, are you looking for a deal? When we were still at odds with the SEC 2 years ago, you ought to have given us a call. At this point, speed is our only advantage. We have Ripple Prime, the G Treasury, the EVM sidechain, and Tailwinds legislation. Ripple is currently experiencing several positive developments. According to Smokedog, support for XRP ETFs is just getting started, and Ripple is in control. More names, including some of the biggest names in industry, will soon be added to this list. Once more, maintain. Keeping in mind that some of these investors and customers are awaiting the release of a product by their business, correct? Not Every company is the same, and not every product is created equally. People prefer to invest their money where they will be most appreciated and cared for because of this. Additionally, you will wait for Franklin Templeton to offer that product if you have maintained a brokerage account with them for 10 or 20 years. Furthermore, it makes sense that waiting could result in a greater offer. Correct? It cost 220 art at the beginning of last week. There are numerous companies that must contend with these Fortune 500 firms. They are numerous. Correct? These companies are all vying for clients, revenue, and market share. The other companies that are now in competition with those that can employ Ripple products must be under a lot of pressure, don't they? Every business that can now access it can do much more with its funds. Are you familiar with Ripple Prime? The road was hidden. Ripple entered and has remained. Since May, they have been able to triple their business. In just 6 or 7 months, they increased the company's size. It may go from clearing $12.5 trillion to clearing $30 or $40 trillion annually if they can accomplish it with the G government. Things might get pretty interesting at that point. It puts pressure on all of these other companies as it expands and more people use it. You'll fall behind if you don't have the newest and best technology, so it's almost like a race. I'm very hopeful because of this. I'm still pleased since I know where this is going, even if the price reduces. Now that XRP is a part of this industry, treasurers and CFOs can leverage the on-demand liquidity to release capital that has been trapped, reduce payment times from days to seconds, and boost cash predictions, risk management, and compliance with blockchain rails. G Treasury collaborates with over 1,000 companies across 160 nations. This implies that 230 may be used by more institutions. It currently costs $2. This implies that consumers can obtain better value for their money, which is crucial. Then, let's do it, of course. Daily net quantities for Bitwise XRP and Canary have been observed thus far. This is what you're essentially looking at. The first day is obviously incredibly hectic. We will then begin constructing once we have additional ETFs. This will continue to expand, and eventually, folks, it will all be worthwhile. As of November 20th, 2025, daily net entries are approximately $118 million, totaling $410 million thus far, which indicates that XRP volume is increasing. These green bands appear to be rather attractive. In addition, I was curious to learn a bit more. I was curious about what would happen if this volume continued till the end of the year in the present. These are the figures then. The cumulative net inflows might reach roughly 5.25 billion US dollars with roughly 2.60 billion XRP purchased if the daily net inflow volume for the spot XRP ETF remains constant until the end of 2025. Only 2 ETFs have been made available thus far. The 6 or 7 that begin immediately after us next week are not included in this. You begin, slowly but surely, we're getting there. Yes, according to the projections, with a daily average of 118 million, the total net imports would reach 5.25 billion by the end of the year. It will come to 410 million today if this pattern holds true until December 31st. XRP was predicted to purchase roughly $2.62 billion. Only 3 billion XRP remain on exchanges, as is well known. This implies that either huge users or individuals like you and I would have to provide the XRP. All right, let's take